A tense standoff in the Sudanese capital, Khartoum. Protesters are pushing for a quick transition to civilian rule after longtime ruler President Omar al-Bashir was ousted. Protesters were defiant after an attempt to break up their sit-in. They've been here outside the Defence Ministry since April 6th. Sudan's army has announced that it's removed and detained Bashir after 3 years in power and is setting up a transitional military council to run the country. But the armed forces in both Sudan and Algeria, where protesters have also toppled their leader of 20 years, are following the same script that has failed millions of Arabs since the 2011 uprisings. Reuters special Middle East correspondent Michael Georgi covered the Arab Spring and explains from Dubai.
Something very striking in Sudan is they compared their plight with the template which Egypt had, which was the army stood on the sidelines, which at the time didn't really show what was about to happen. People were happy they weren't intervening, but actually they wanted to get Mubarak out, and the head of the army actually effectively pushed him out because the security was getting out of hand. So the Sudanese people are saying it's either victory or Egypt. They want to avoid that situation where the military exploits the turmoil and makes promises like elections, but at the end of the day, they're still calling the shots.
Any future civilian leader in Sudan or Algeria will need the support of the army, and those Arab Spring upheavals raised hopes of political and economic reforms. But in many places, ousted autocrats have been replaced by leaders who also failed to create jobs and eradicate poverty and corruption. In Algeria, unemployment among the young is high. In Sudan, the protests started over bread prices and poor living conditions. But as Algerians and Sudanese seek more freedom and better prospects, turmoil elsewhere in the region suggests their hopes for a better future may be disappointed.